I don't know what possessed me to tell this story. Maybe it's guilt, maybe it's closure, or maybe I just want anyone to understand how I ended up here. I never set out to fall for someone else's fiancé, but that's exactly what happened. It started almost exactly a year ago. I got a friend request from someone I recognized, a guy named Jordan. We had a few mutual friends, but we'd never actually met. Still, I accepted. A few hours later, he messaged me. Just casual small talk at first. We talked about music, childhood, life goals. I had no reason to think anything of it. He mentioned early on that he was engaged to a woman named Alyssa, and I believed him when he said he just wanted to be friends. But we weren't just friends. That became obvious within weeks. We messaged constantly from the moment I woke up to when I went to sleep. We shared things I hadn't told anyone, my deepest insecurities, his biggest fears. We became close, too close. There were nights when I'd lie awake staring at my phone, heart racing, wondering if I was doing the right thing. I'd tell myself, this is just a friendship, nothing more. But deep down, I knew I was lying. I'd replay every message, every joke, every late-night confession, the way he seemed to understand me better than anyone else ever had. It felt like a secret world where no one else mattered, but it was also a trap. I started to feel something. It wasn't lust. It wasn't physical. I was falling for him emotionally, and I hated myself for it. I started pulling away, but every time I tried to break free, the loneliness pulled me back in. And then, in September, things crossed a line. I don't even remember how it started. A joke turned into a flirtation. A late-night message turned into sexting. I felt sick the next day, disgusted with myself. I told him I couldn't do this, that I was done. He backed off for a few days. Then the cycle started. He'd reach out, be sweet, apologize. And just when I thought I was strong enough to say no, I wasn't. We sexted one more time, just once, but it was enough to break something inside me. Jordan would talk to me about his relationship like it was a prison. He said Alyssa was controlling, emotionally volatile. She'd scream if he didn't text back within 10 minutes, that they hadn't slept together in over a year, that she didn't respect his boundaries. Sometimes I caught myself hoping that maybe it would all work out, that maybe he'd leave Alyssa and be with me. But then reality hit hard. I wasn't just the other woman. I was the secret, the betrayal, the darkness lurking behind their smiles. I felt guilty, ashamed, but also powerless. I believed him. She even confided in me once at a party, told me she wasn't happy, that she wasn't sure she even wanted to marry him. And yet, she stayed. They both stayed, toxicity feeding off itself. Then came the night that changed everything for me. We were at a gig with a group of friends. I knew there was a chance my abusive ex might show up that night, and I told them I was scared. They promised to have my back. But when I turned around, they were gone, all of them. No goodbye, no check-in, just gone. And then Jordan texted me, asking for nudes. I couldn't believe it. That was the moment I realized he didn't care about me, not really. He only cared about what he could get from me. Till I tried to maintain a friendship. I didn't want to be the other woman. I thought if I could just redefine things, I could be okay. But then January came. I was in a dark place mentally. Suicidal thoughts, insomnia, panic attacks. I reached out to Jordan. He left me on red for the first time ever. That was it. That broke me, but it also freed me. I messaged him, please don't contact me again. And I blocked him on everything. I realized I'd been craving connection, acceptance, love, but in all the wrong places. Being disabled had isolated me for so long. I hadn't realized how hungry I was for someone to truly see me, not just the disability or the past trauma, but the person beneath. Jordan filled that void, but only temporarily, because what I really needed was to fill that void myself. I started therapy. I needed to understand why I let myself get into this, why I ignored all the red flags, why I settled for being someone's dirty little secret. It wasn't just about Jordan. It was about me. I've been disabled since I was 17. I spent years housebound. I used to think no one would ever truly love me, that I'd always be too much to deal with. Jordan made me feel seen. He noticed things no one else ever did. He asked questions about my symptoms. He learned how to help when I struggled. But he also used that intimacy to keep me hooked. A few days ago, someone told Alyssa about the affair. She didn't believe it. They swept it under the rug. Again. Jordan messaged me in a panic not to apologize, not to take accountability, but because he couldn't lose her. And just like that, I saw him for who he really was. Some days, the guilt feels unbearable, like a weight pressing down on my chest. But then I remind myself, I'm more than my mistakes. I'm learning, growing, healing. I hope my story reminds anyone watching that even when we stumble, we can rise. And sometimes the hardest battles lead us to the strongest versions of ourselves. If you've ever made a mistake that haunts you, I hope you know that you're not alone and that you're not beyond redemption. I'm learning to forgive myself. One step at a time.